Hello everybody. Yeah, we didn't. I'm just making this video because we didn't get to do the 136 predictions for UFC. It was one hell of a fight. Actually, what I intended to do was I wanted to make the predictions like today, which is Monday, and kind of be like psychic. You know, I wanted to say exactly what was going to happen in the fight, but just say that I didn't get to post the video up on time. You know what I mean? Like, but yet I predicted every fight the way it was supposed to go, or the way it actually ended up happening. Like, who knew, you know, that Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard were gonna have the same, pretty much very identical first round that they had in their second fight. Man, it was a hell of a fight, and great matchup. And Frankie Edgar once again showed determination, big time passion, and of course, as they've already said, a lot of heart. He overcame, you know, major obstacles, and was nearly finished again in the first round, but came back, won the fight. I mean, I just gotta say, man, you know, the prelims weren't all that great, but the UFC itself, the event itself, was lived up to the hype. I just want to kind of show you. I was at the expo in Houston, and got a couple things. Miesha Tate, you know, autograph, and she's the women's champion, 145, I believe, for Strikeforce. Got a couple things, you know, trauma, fight gear. A lot of these things were passed out when you were in line to get an autograph from your favorite fighters. Tito, he just had way too long of a line. Belfort had way too long of a line. Shogun had a big line too. I was able to get the autograph of Sam Hands of Stone Stout, and he was really cool. He was a really cool guy. A couple other things here. I'll be posting some pictures up on my Facebook later, so you can check that out. You know, a couple things from the UFC. Let's see. Oh yeah, I got a UFC glove a while back, with a Bud Light logo on it, and this is for Ring of Cage. Oh, Ring to Cage. So it's just a glove keychain type thing. It's kind of cool. Thinking about maybe putting it right here. I did meet Daniel Cormier, and man, he's a cool guy. He still has his hand casted up. I don't know if he's going to be fighting Barnett. He said that he's not even sure yet if it's going to happen, because of course, as you know, right now, UFC is still trying to figure out what's going to happen with the whole deal between Showtime and Strikeforce. You know, got some other things here, some magazines, you know, fitness, a lot of fitness people there. Oh, and I also got Luke Rockhold's autograph. It's pretty cool, man. He's the middleweight champion for Strikeforce. Just defeated Jacare not too long ago by decision. It actually was a split decision, but you know, I actually thought he should have won. But man, the event itself was very good. I was very shocked, by the way, about what happened with Melvin Guillard. I was super shocked, man. My hair almost turned yellow, you know. Some people's underwear almost turned yellow, you know, because I don't think anybody ever expected to see what happened to him. He was in such a huge row, you know. He had so many wins. He was like 2 or 3, you know, second or third in line for a UFC lightweight championship fight, and it seems like every time he gets very close, he ends up, no pun intended, but he ends up choking. You know, I expected a knockout from Guillard. I mean, the way he was acting, maybe I should. He was at the expo, by the way. I wish I would have got that on camera, but I did catch him at the expo when I was waiting in the line for Sam Stout. I was kind of watching, and I saw him. He was on his phone, and he was just jumping around there, just jogging around the expo, you know, around all of the area, and just pretty much like the way he came down for his fight. But I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm going to tell you what I thought was going to happen. I thought Guillard was going to get knocked out. He ended up losing, so I would have messed up on that prediction. The reason we didn't get to do the predictions, by the way, is because we were just way too busy. I got some footage of us going to the shooting range. I'll be putting that up also on probably, I don't know, what is it, YouTube? Yeah, YouTube, and then maybe on Facebook too. But me, my brother, and my cousin Luis, man, we had such a badass time. We really did. But I just wanted to, you know, since I didn't get to make the predictions like we always do, I was like, man, maybe we should just stop, forget about the predictions. The next event is going to be good. 137, of course, you got two great, main events there. You got, of course, GSP facing a teammate in Carlos Condit, and should be a very competitive fight. And as well, we also have BJ Penn taking on Nick Diaz. Of course, that fight was made after Nick Diaz had missed 2 press conferences, and Dana White, instead of firing him, and I don't think he never really wanted to do that, I'm sure, but he had to punish him in some way, so he just gave him a fight on the co-main event against BJ Penn, which I think is great. I think it's going to be a great preparation for Nick Diaz, because just throwing him in against GSP, that ain't doing you any favor. He needs to. I think the biggest weakness Diaz has is just takedown defense. I think BJ Penn's going to be the perfect guy to test him. If not, John Fitch would have, but still, I think BJ Penn's going to be the perfect guy to fight. If he gets through BJ Penn, then he definitely deserves to fight against GSP, and I think people would be even more interested after that. So let me just go ahead and tell you real quick, man. I don't want this video to be like freaking 4 parts, 5 parts, like as many sequels as Friday the 13th, which I love, by the way. I'm not complaining about that. And yes, I do like Jason Takes Manhattan too. I don't think they made a mistake with that. I love them all. But let's see. Okay, so I thought Gallard was going to lose. Second fight was Nam Phan against Leonard Garcia. Fuck. The 3rd round, I really thought Garcia was going to beat him. He caught him with he rocked him real badass, and then he kept on just throwing those looping, punches from left and right. I mean, crazy, wild punches, man. People think Vanderlei Silva used to punch wild. I beg to differ. I mean, I think nobody punches more wild than Leonard Garcia. He needs to protect himself more too, because he's gonna end up, that could be very bad for him. You only have such a good chin for a while. It doesn't last you forever, so you got to protect yourself. Chuck Liddell was very bad about that too. Everybody, said that he had a great chin, and he did. But after a while, man, if you take so many punches, kicks, knees, and all that stuff to the head, you end up getting very susceptible to being knocked out. So I thought Garcia was going to win. I was pulling for Garcia. However, my true prediction was going to be Nam Phan, just because I felt that Leonard Garcia doesn't really, example being the Korean Zombie, he ended up losing to the Korean Zombie in a rematch, and I just thought if he fought Nam Phan in the rematch, that Nam Phan would still win, and I did think it was going to be by decision. I didn't think he'd knock him out. Leonard Garcia is such a hard guy to beat. So yeah, I was right about that one. Third fight on the card was, of course, Brian Stann against Chael Sonnen, and that fight was pretty good, man. Very, a little bit one-sided though, because Chael Sonnen, I mean, it seemed like Brian Stann was just never able to get off, and Chael Sonnen was never able to get off of Brian Stann, because once he got a hold of him, he clinched him, pushed him up against the cage, worked the clinch, dirty boxing, knees, and the wrestling, man, takedowns, and then just controlled him on the ground and arm triangled him. I thought Brian Stann was going to win, by the way, so I was wrong on that one. Now I'm being honest here. Fourth fight, I did think Aldo was going to win against Florian, and I actually I didn't think he was going to knock him out or submit him either. I really thought it was going to go to decision as well. And you know what, I agree with everybody. I think Florian did perform a little bit better in this title fight than his previous ones. Slightly more aggressive, not big time more aggressive, but slightly. And I just was not enough to beat Jose Aldo, and I did think Jose Aldo was going to win, so I was right about that one. Main event, man, Frankie Edgar and Gray Maynard. I was pulling for Frankie Edgar, and I was going to choose him to win, so I won that one as well. However, man, Gray Maynard, once again, almost had him in the first round. After that, I don't know what other way that there is to explain it, really. A lot of people think he got gassed again. I didn't think he went as hard as he did in the first round of the second fight. I mean, he had Frankie Edgar rolling, backwards, and then, got up and knocked him down like 3 times in that round or something. It wasn't as bad as, the second fight was crazier. But still, I mean, Gray just could not finish him, and then Frankie Edgar, when he got the opportunity, he proved that he could finish. And I was right about that prediction. We will be coming back. MMA Split Decision will live on, I guess. And we'll be back for UFC 137. Of course, that's GSP versus Condit, and BJ Penn versus Nick Diaz. That's going to be a fucking badass card. That's in a couple weeks, so see you then. Yeah!